Hi guys, Deb Acker here, back with another video, and the title of today's video is Are you being pulled by life or are you creating it? Right? For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm an intuitive coach and I work mainly with women to help them to heal their past, to heal childhood patterns, specifically around abandonment and the abandonment that can show up when we have physically and or emotionally unavailable parents, whether that's through the loss of a parent, through parents getting divorced, through addiction, or through having either parents that work a lot and or are emotionally unavailable in some way, right? And so in today's video, I want to talk about this whole idea of sort of being pulled in our lives, right? Sort of like not really being in the driver's seat of our life, and really more than that, like sort of allowing our circumstances and other people to subconsciously control us. And, first and foremost, this roots in childhood, where we can be scared we basically have to disconnect from ourselves a lot of times. If you're in an environment where you do have physically and or emotionally unavailable parents, a lot of times what happens is you do have to, you end up disconnecting from yourself, right? So you end up disconnecting from your needs, from what you want, from what feels right, because a lot of times what you're doing is just going along with your, if you grew up with a single mom, right? You're just going along with them, you're wanting to make them happy, that their life subconsciously or consciously is really hard, and you're just trying to make their life as easy as possible. And also, there can be a fear of abandonment if you obviously if you have in some way a physically and or emotionally unavailable parent or parents, right? And so, as part of this, what ends up happening is we just tend to let others call the shots of our lives, right? And, again, there can be a fear of, if I actually say this is what I really want, I might get abandoned here. And again, most of the time that's subconscious, but, that can be in essence where this pattern starts to root in. Then as we go into our adult lives, we're not necessarily thinking in terms of like, I actually can have this the way that I want it, because, we got so used to molding ourselves and contracting ourselves, right, to be in that space, we don't even think we can have it the way we want it, let alone to actually make a request or ask for what we need to create it that way. So instead, what ends up happening is we just sort of kind of go along. And so, say for instance, you have various plans throughout your day. It can be easy, say, for instance, a friend wants to come over. It can be easy to say, okay, well, I had, this work thing planned, or I had planned to spend time with, a friend, but this other friend wants to come over. And so I kind of just allow myself to kind of get dragged into, whatever is going on, right? So, and not really being a total creator in your life. So when that happens, so say for instance, you have plans to read a book, okay? And then, your friend calls you up and says, hey, I'm gonna come over, right? When that happens, it's really, really important to check in with yourself and ask yourself, is this okay, right? Like, is this okay? Is this what I really wanna do? Do I wanna hang out with this friend, or do I wanna read my book, right? And really getting connected to what's really true for you in that moment. Then with that, asking yourself, okay, if I could have it any way that I wanted it, what would I create in this situation, right? So it might be that you get to have both, right? You get to see your friend and you get to read your book, right? And, whether you're, you end up saying, okay, come over later in the day, and, or, you make the choice for them to come over when they're asking, and then you read your book later in the day. A lot of times what happens is we rule out possibilities. And when we rule out those possibilities, right, what happens? But we end up, creating a world versus where it's like or versus and, right? And then too, if say for instance, you're having a challenging situation where you're like, I want both, but I can't have both today. In those moments, right, you could say to yourself, what's most important to me, right? The other day, I was watching a movie and one of my family members called, right? And I had the opportunity in that moment to go, okay, what's most important to me in this moment? Is it watching my movie and finishing my movie? Or is it having a conversation, spending time with this family member, right? And in that moment, what was most important for me was spending time with that family member. So that's what I chose. So that's today's video. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you're looking for more information on how do I heal my abandonment pattern and so many of the patterns that come with it, you can get my healing Healing Through Abandonment kit below. The link is below. And also too, if you're looking to dive deeper into this work and you're looking for deeper support around your patterns that show up around abandonment and all of the various things that can show up around that, you can head to deboraacker.com, or you can book a 15-minute call with me where we can talk about where you are, where you want to be, and how I can help you get there. So thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day.